All right, everybody, we are back in the building. Last week we was back in my little room. But today we are back in the building in what we call the studio. Since I've been here, Donovan's done some upgrades and things like that. And so, it's just coming along.
It's coming along. It's portable, so when we go to South Africa, we could do some things over there. Less clutter.
Right. And so, as you guys know, Donovan was missing in action. And for those of you guys on the podcast, we didn't do it last week because Donovan is the podcast. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we're trying to reconnect here. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, do you want to tell us where you were?
I happened to had a wild hair, saw a couple flights out of San Diego going to Hawaii, and I just decided to just jump on it and see what happens. So I went to Hawaii and went to enjoy myself.
Okay. Well, so I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but it is definitely tethering there.
There it goes.
All right, so you guys on Facebook Live, I'm not sure why it's doing what it's doing.
I told you guys why. The government is doing that.
Okay, we're going to blame the government.
It is. A lot of people are having the same problems when they're awake in masses, so it's not an unusual phenomenon.
Okay.
And remember, she's going to be looking over here because her main camera is this way. But back to what I was saying. There was a flight that went to Hawaii. You guys know I'm a veteran. If you're a retired veteran or 100% disabled veteran, you have flight benefits within the United States and its territories. So there was a flight, 120 seats. I flew on a 737, military equivalent of a C-40. Straight shot into Hawaii. No problems happening, and ended up staying there longer than I wanted. Well, there was another flight going to Australia and two going to the Philippines. But that's one of your benefits of being in the military. But no, I can't join the military. See, and that's what I'm saying. People don't realize there's a lot of benefits to the military if you know what the hell you're doing. And then, so when you see these white people in these exotic places, they didn't pay full money. I almost guarantee a lot of them have flown there via military.
So that's where Donovan was, you guys. Donovan was
jet setting.
Yeah, in Hawaii, doing his thing, So anyway, we're both back here this week. And so thank you guys so much for joining us today on this Sunday, which is March 31st. And so hopefully you guys can see the topic. We are going to be talking about, how could we not, right? CardiB is not something that we typically do on this show, but,
Wait, you keep saying we. You got a mouse in your pocket? This is your show.
No.
This is your show.
Okay? Don't try to run now. You tried it with Oprah. When we talking about Oprah, got all scared. But so anyway, all right, so we are going to be talking about Cardi. Not for gossiping reasons, because neither Donovan or I really are Cardi fans, but we don't hate her or nothing like that. But so we'll get into it because I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it, only because it sparked a lot of debate everywhere. And so let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? All right, so I'm going to read you guys my notes.
Okay,
all right.
Before you get into it, what debate has this? I've been out of circulation.
Well, this is just for you, because some told me you were going to tell me that. Donovan pretends like he doesn't know who CardiB is.
I don't know who CardiB is. I mean, other than when she was in the strip club known as Nasty Kitty.
Huh?
When we were in the strip club, that was her former name, the Nasty Kitty.
Was it really?
No, that was the club she performed at.
Oh, I see. All right, y'all. So let's get into it, right? Niggas must have forgotten the shit I did to motherfuckers to survive, okay? Like I had to go strip. I had to go, oh yeah, you want to fuck me? Oh yeah. Let's go to this hotel. And I drug niggas up. I'd rob them. That's what I used to do. Nothing was motherfucking handed to me, my nigga. Nothing.
Okay. What makes her different than the 96% of black people that go through struggles every day?
Okay. That quote was made by CardiB during one of her live videos about 3 years ago when she was defending her rise to the top against the haters, okay? The video resurfaced about a week ago and all hell broke loose, all right, for her, basically.
Well, doesn't this have to do something with her being sued by Tasha K, and there's a big
I'm going to get into it, okay? Now, people have been comparing her to Bill Cosby and R. Kelly while using the hashtag surviving Cardi B. Because, you know, the play on words, surviving hash,
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, when he did they had the Lifetime movie about R. Kelly, right? All right, so surviving Cardi B. Now, many are demanding that she also be held accountable and muted for what she admitted to during being with these unsuspecting men, right? Now, however, there are many who are arguing that those men were not victims because they should have expected to be drugged, robbed by a stripper who they paid to have sex for. Like, if I'm lying, y'all, I'm flying.
Wow.
I've heard, and you know what the crazy part is? I've seen and heard a lot of men justify that. Well, they knew what they were getting into. What do you expect when you go to a room with a stripper and all this other stuff? Right?
I expect to get what I pay for.
Well, okay, well, save that thought. Save that. Okay, so basically they're like, charge it to the game. That's what they say, you know?
So it's good to rob each other. Go ahead.
Right. So leave Cardi B alone because we don't need to persecute her for her past. We need to be leaders and lead by example. Regardless of what you did in your past, if you stole a car in the past, then that don't mean you shouldn't be able to get money in the future.
Damn right. Free Bill Cosby.
As long as you change your ways, and we all know Cardi B focus on the money now. She is a leader, and that's how I feel. That was Rick Ross. Okay, that was Rick Ross.
Mr. Security Correctional Officer talking about he's gangsta. And it hadn't even seen no parts of the streets. But go ahead.
Put Molly in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I took her home, and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it. That was also Rick Ross, okay?
What does your girl Kamala Harris say? That, Kamala's, down with the cause?
I don't know about all of that, okay? So that was Rick Ross as well, okay? Now, he lost an endorsement deal from Reebok because of those lyrics.
Dumbass.
Due to a petition that was signed by over 72,000 people. So Rick Ross lost his endorsement deal behind talking about putting, Molly's in people's drinks and all that stuff too.
Dumbass.
On the other side, he's defending Cardi B. Okay, now, here's some more quotes defending Cardi B's behavior. Okay, also drugging someone to rob them versus drugging someone to rape them are different things. Both horrific, especially on the drugging end, but different. It's not the same as what those men did. Stealing is surviving, but I don't think rape is surviving. I think they're different things. She did what she had to do. Okay, now these are all quotes. Someone else said classic whataboutisms, all right? Now, speaking of whataboutisms, rape. Now, let me give y'all some definitions, okay? So, the definition of rape. Unlawful sexual activity and usually sexual intercourse carried out forcibly under threat or of injury against a person's will, okay? Now, the definition of robbing. To take personal property from someone by violence or a threat. Now, spiking a drink is the act of adding drugs or alcohol to someone's beverage, often alcoholic, without their permission. Most cases of spiking drinks occur with the intention of sexual assault or robbery, okay? Now, what are the common themes in both of those definitions? All right, we have the word take, we have forcibly, we have threat, violence, and without permission, okay? Now, people are also claiming double standards when it comes to comparing Cardi B to other rappers. They're saying the male rappers get away with it all the time, right? This is what people have said. All right. Now, remember when Ludacris lost his Pepsi endorsement when Bill O'Reilly called for a boycott because Luda was a man, quote unquote, who degrades women. Remember his song Area Codes where he says, I've got hoes in different area codes. Mm-hmm. So Bill O'Reilly was mad and called for a boycott and Pepsi let him go. But ultimately, Luda ended up with the money because they had to pay him under contract, whatever. Okay, now, Chris Brown lost millions in endorsements and lost many fans due to his altercation with Rihanna. And to this day, if he sneezes wrong, you have people who bring up him and Rihanna. Okay, so Akon got dumped by Verizon when he was seen dancing explicitly on stage with a 15-year-old who he thought was at least 18. Got dropped by Verizon, all right? Now, T.I. lost a bunch of endorsements when he got caught with guns and drugs, which he did. I beat the pussy up like Emmett Till. got Lil Wayne dropped by Pepsi. And, rightfully so, whatever. And the family was mad because he,
the moral police.
Yeah, but the point that I'm making is, and I'm sorry to be so vulgar, but I really wanted to prove a point here, okay? Now, back to Bill Cosby. In a court deposition, Cosby admitted to giving women drugs to women right before he had sex with them, even though he said they knew about it. Okay, regardless, Cosby is now sitting in a prison cell, serving out a 3-year sentence for sexual assault. For the most part, people view the differences between CardiB, Bill, and R. Kelly by saying the following. 1, Bill Cosby did it for power, or because he had the power. He's this rich celebrity, and these starlets want to get on, if you will. So he did it because he had the power. Now people are saying R. Kelly did it because he's sadistic. He's crazy, and all of that other stuff, and he likes young girls. Now people are saying Cardi did it for survival. That is the basic summation of the difference between those. Cardi did what she did.
So people are selling. Aren't people selling drugs for survival? Aren't people doing stuff for survival?
Right. So
that justifies it.
Right. Well, that's the consensus from what I read and from what I gathered, is that Cardi did it for survival. Everybody else did it, for what power, and because they're sadistic. And so I'm going to get to you guys' comments, and I was remiss in saying thank you to Donovan for being here. Thank you to Marcus for doing everything you do, and Eris as well. You guys, if we're not friends, please click on the link so that you can also participate in the conversation. What else? Also, the purpose of this show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all the things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people. So I'm going to get to you guys' comments right now.
Oh, and by the way, next week I am going to have the phone connection so you can call in and stuff like that.
What?
I didn't do it this week because I've been trying to catch up from my dalliance in Hawaii.
All right, so I'm getting to you guys' comments right.
Keyword.
I have to turn me down. Okay, so let's see what you guys got going on here. All right, so I think I missed a bunch of comments only because it just went up. So let's get to it. So Tay says, hey, D&D, what's happening?
Hey, Tay.
Amanda says, my boo is back.
Yes, yes. I have that shoestring I want you to wear on the beach.
And Marcus has shared the link. You guys, please click it if you can't comment for whatever reason. Hey, Alex, what's happening? Tay says, I get it. But then where was all this back when Rick Ross said the same thing? Well, and so I should have read that comment first. Hey, Nidra, she says, hey, and then Tam says, good afternoon, beautiful, same to you. And Tay says, we are so hard on Cardi, and Rick and other rappers aren't being held accountable for their words. Well, that's not true. And I'm assuming you wrote that before I read all the rappers that are and have been held accountable for their things. Let's see. Tam says, Cardi B is ratchet and need to be held accountable for her actions. Yes, indeed. Hey, Gina, she says, hey now. And Tammy also says, drugging a person to gain something is similar to raping them. She raped him for something. She raped him for something that belongs to him. Per the definitions I read, only thing that's missing from robbery, which you can rob a person of their, personal being, if you will. They're virtually the same definition with the exception of sexual assault, right? So I agree. And Tay says, if she did do this, then she needs to be held accountable for her actions. Well, she says she did it. Not only once did she say it, but she said it twice, in that if her boyfriend or whoever cheated on her, she would set them up with transvestites and then have them, do some sexual stuff to these guys without their knowledge. And so this is what she's saying.
I read a deposition that she's suing the blogger.
Thank you, Richard.
She's suing the blogger Tasha K. And in the thing, she says that what Tasha K reported was totally untrue. And, so this video that, she said it defames her name. She's a mom now. And, so basically she's saying that all of the shit that she talks about in her music and stuff, that ain't true. That ain't who I am.
But so that's when the video came out. Right. Because it's like, no, you said this yourself, that this is what you do to people, and you did it to survive.
So she's she's basically a studio gangster.
No, what she said it was square biz or something she did to somebody.
Yeah, but now she's saying I didn't do any of those things. That's not me. So she's basically a Snoop Dogg, a studio gangster.
Well, I think it's part of a retraction. She's trying to say, or redaction, if you will. Well, that's not what I meant, you know.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And let's see here. Where else did I go? And then Benny says, "What up, family? What's happening to you?" And then Tammy says, "Hey, Donovan, it's good to finally see you." Oh, yes. Yeah, because normally you guys don't see Donovan, but we've tried a new format. Actually, we got into a little bit of a discussion earlier.
Yeah, when you got to starve the show and a producer, I'm doing, putting all the stuff, but she's the star, so I got to have this. I got to be on time. Walking into the studio late.
Lying. He's lying. And so Al says that 70s afro was nice. Thank you. It has it's shrunk a little bit now, but it's all good. All right. And so Richard says, I thought the selling of her body was the survival move. Drugging a person and saying it's a part of the game isn't a good excuse. It's no different than those other celebrities, and those needs the same energy. No, absolutely.
It's still a crime.
But the thing is this, though, and this is just, let me read you guys' comments before I give you guys my commentary. Yeah. Okay. And so Marie, she says, so why do we care what the F she says or did with them tricks? Come on, my people. It's not important. We got way more shit going on the black word. Yes, we do. We do have more going on, but because I like to spin stuff, I think we do need to talk about this because it's a lot of us. When I say us, it's a lot of black women who are defending that. And so to me, that is problematic because those same women who are defending Cardi B are the same ones that'll jump on the bandwagon and talk about surviving R. Kelly or, Bill Cosby, this, that, and the other. Quick.
1 million women against Tommy Sotomayor.
Well, I agree with him on that one. But they're quick to demonize black men, but some people argue that Cardi B is not black, but if you really want to go to the root of it, she's black.
Yeah, she's black.
But you have a lot of black women, especially defending Cardi B. And so I think that's something, I know we won't be able to fix it here, but that's something we need to address. Because without black women and black men being united, we're going to always have issues. And if we can't agree to that, like I said, I've debunked the thing that the black male rappers or male rappers aren't being held accountable. They are being held accountable. If you even want to take it way, way back, you guys remember Tipper Gore? What did Tipper Gore do?
She's the one that originated the parental advisory on albums and audio
to who?
To the gangster rappers.
Uncle Luke.
Uncle Luke was the first one, then Ice-T and so on. And then
which
NWA.
is when he came out with the song Born, or what is it?
Yeah, Banned in the USA.
Banned in the USA. Uncle Luke Skywalker.
Two Live Crew.
Two Live Crew. Because Tipper Gore was like, oh my gosh, these lyrics are horrible, and blah, blah, blah. And so that's where the parental guidance sticker came from on the albums. And so for us to keep saying, well, Cardi B should get away with it because male rappers, that's bullshit. Male rappers aren't getting away with it. And I'd say this to people too. Even if the male rappers are getting away with it, where is it cool that a woman is saying that she's drugging dudes and robbing them because she's doing what she had to do? Have you ever been in a situation you had to do what you had to do?
Yes.
Did you go hurt somebody else to do it?
I can't say from a government standpoint.
I can't say. I'm going to speak personally for myself. I have been in a situation where I've had to do things that I was bad off, if you will. But I never thought, well, let me go harm somebody else to get ahead. And so if that's the kind of stuff we're justifying, we need to discuss that, Richard. Okay, and so let's see. Was it Richard who said that? Yeah. No, it was Maury. Sorry. And Billy says, hey, and Tony says, hey, Professor Demetri, what's happening? Right. And Benny says, Rick Ross did catch a shitload of flack, but it doesn't make a difference. But he said, I'm not really into dealing with these issues of comparison because when we compare the situations, we end up making excuses for one or the other when I think all the cases are wrong. No, absolutely. And that's the point I was trying to make. Even if they did get away with it, where is any of it right?
Right.
Like, how do we justify that?
That's the problem in the black community, though. We justify bullshit. oh, it's okay to sell drugs to each other and death and destruction, but they don't go down to Beverly Hills and do it. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, I'm surviving the game. That's why we'll never get out of the hole, because we keep robbing from each other.
Yeah, and I get it. You know, Cardi B is a hot rapper or whatever the case is, but at the end of the day, I mean, with Boom Quisha up the road, to get the same justification of she's doing what she had to do.
Yeah, I saw a video of her trying to talk about, you know, the recent retractions and people trying to drag her down now, and that isn't her. She's a mother now, whatever. That woman looks horrible without makeup.
Oh God. Well, we probably all do to some degree.
No. But when I looked at it, I was like, "Who is that?" When she was talking, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm at the base gym working out, and you know, it was on TMZ or something, and I was just like, "Who the hell is that?" The woman looks horrible without the makeup.
Well, I mean, you know, to me, that's really neither. It's subjective.
Well, no, it's subjective, but I mean, I didn't even recognize it was her.
Yeah, well, I've heard a lot of people actually say that. And so Richard says, artists always want to separate the music from the person whenever criminal charges are pending.
Exactly.
You profit from the music, you need to account for the damage it causes. Yeah, I mean, at some point in time, why is it doing that? It needs to be plugged up, that's why.
Okay, I'll get it.
Yeah. So at some point in time, I mean, either you did it or you didn't do it, you know? And so I also argue too, like especially with a lot of rappers, are they embellishing or are they telling the truth? I mean, nobody really knows at this point, but just dealing with Cardi, she has admitted to doing those things. Mm-hmm. She has admitted to drugging and robbing men.
Innocent men.
One man, we're trying to plug up my thing. No, it's this one here.
It's plugged.
Yeah, so maybe.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, so anyway, we're just having some technical. There you go. We're back in business. All right, so anyway, let's go back here. And so Marie says, just because we have the same skin don't mean we are in the same frame of mind. Yeah, and that's another argument people make. One moment, you know, Cardi B is castigating what you call black people, calling them cockroaches and dark skin and all kind of stuff. And she also uses the N-word a lot. And so, I mean, to me, that argument is neither here or there. But she does have the benefit of choosing. Choosing is whether she wants to be black one day, like black, or she wants to be Latina the next.
Not in my book. Either you're with us or you're against us.
Right.
So.
And so Tammy says it's too late. She said what she said and cannot retract it. But then again, black folks are going to defend her, but yet dismiss other black women entertainers. You know what? You ain't lying. Chrisette Michele. Now, you know what? Tammy, I'm so glad you brought that up. But let me finish your point. Like Chrisette Michele, because she's saying at Trump's inauguration, her career is destroyed. Now, yes, let's talk about that for a second. Chrisette Michele did something legal. Was it morally wrong? Some people will argue yes, but it was legal. Chrisette Michele went and sung at Trump's inauguration against the...
And she is regretting that so
badly.
badly.
I mean, she said that, but she's destroyed, like to Tammy's words, she says she's destroyed because of it. We won't give her a break for doing something legal within her constitutional rights, if you will. Mm-hmm. But Cardi B is running around talking about she drugging dudes and stealing their money and stuff, but yet we're like, give her a pass.
Did the dudes get the pussy?
They were asleep. They don't know. I don't know.
Hey, there ain't no way I'm taking any kind of drugs or anything like that if she ain't gonna come through the deal.
I mean, it sounds like she slipped it in her drink. They didn't know they were being drugged and she
Fellas, if you're at a club, same thing you would tell a woman. You do not leave your drink.
Well, that sounds like they went to the hotel. Like
yeah, but still, you still don't leave your drink. Right. And, you know, especially dealing with these ratchet type hoes. Whatever. Right.
And so Tay says, no one can justify rape or sexual assault. No, and it shouldn't be. Rape or sexual assault should not be justified. However, neither should robbing and drugging people. That is illegal. Mm-hmm. That shouldn't be, none of it should be justified. Right? And then so, Al says, I call you the bomb because you are sexy, and when it comes to black issues, you go off any minute. No, I'm not going off. And Benny says, I think this issue with Cardi B is a perfect opportunity for us to illuminate the double standards that's going unaddressed. Mm-hmm. It's also a perfect opportunity to deal with some of the things that will make us all uncomfortable, and that happens to be the whole so-called hip-hop culture and our love for this dysfunctional behavior that we promote as our culture, black culture. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Even in Cardi B's, one of her defense, she says, I'm part of hip-hop culture, and I am allowed to, and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm allowed to talk about the things I've done because this is part of the hip hop culture.
No, it's not.
But to your point, Benny, maybe we do need to redefine that, because when we were coming up,
it's about being positive, getting out of the ghetto, uplifting yourself and your neighborhood, and
right. So now it's talking about giving people drugs and raping and just the whole
and being gay, you know.
Okay.
It was one of those guys in the dress or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, Young Thug and all them.
For those guys, that don't know, when me and Demetra and I were in college, Public Enemy came to the school during the Black Heritage thing, and Demetra was there with the S1Ws in beret.
That was my first concert, actually. Yeah. Public Enemy. I got backstage and the whole nine. So yeah, and so Tay says, I think folks did Chrisette dead wrong. Yeah, but so to that point, Tay, how do we justify muting? Because that's what we did, essentially. How do we justify muting Chrisette Michelle, but then we want to give Cardi a pass? Chrisette went and sung at the inauguration. Legal.
And haven't heard from her since.
Yeah, she said that it's caused her a lot of stress. She's, had miscarriage and all kinds of stuff because her career was just never the same. She's gained
all that weight.
We've canceled her. But yet Cardi B is, I read a couple articles saying that Cardi probably will be just fine because there's a lot of people just defending that. A lot of men, as I said at the top of the hour, are saying, well, it's kind of par for the course. When you go with a stripper, that might happen to you.
What's Cardi B's age? She's
I think
under 30.
Cardi's only 26, 27.
Yeah, see, you're dealing with these young, stupid-ass, young-ass girls.
And there's probably a lot of old women doing that shit.
Well, yeah, we know that, too, because that's where she learned it from. But my point is, she's at an age where she doesn't realize, because, as you get older, you get more conservative and stuff, especially as her child goes following in mommy. And I'll give you a better example. Whitney Houston and her child. Within 2 years of Whitney Houston being dead, the daughter followed right along with it because they wanted to be friend, learn behavior.
Right, learn behavior. And so, let's see. And Richard says she may get away with it, but the impressionable minds who blindly follow artists won't.
That's exactly
true. These are the types of things that you get killed, and to bring up and basically brag about it is reckless. And I hope the hashtag He Too Laugh Out Loud movement gets her. Well, I mean, that's really up to whoever's in the He Too movement, because I agree, and that, to your other point, I totally agree that Me Too should be defunct. Me Too shouldn't have another word to say. You see people coming out against Joe Biden saying he's, touchy-feely, he's a groper and all this other stuff, and I'm like...
The author of the mass incarceration.
I'm not saying he's not a groper. I don't have any knowledge of that, but it's like, okay, well, if we're talking about Joe Biden, shouldn't we be talking about Cardi too, in addition to R. Kelly? Hell, we dug up Michael Jackson from the grave.
Yep.
We dug him up from the grave and tried to, not me or, us, but tried to mute Michael Jackson for something he was found innocent of. But yet Cardi is on video saying she's doing these things, and we want to give her a pass.
Studio gangster. That's what you call these people.
She is, okay.
Snoop Dogg is a studio gangster. He never did a bid in prison. He never, juvenile hall is not prison. I'm sorry. But go ahead.
And Tammy says, knowing how ratchet Cardi is, she probably has sex with him and had a tranny to suck his D. Well, that's what she said happened. She said that's what she would do to guys who would cheat on her. So I was like, I mean, not that you would. I don't know if he did. And say you paid a stripper. Y'all went back to the hotel or whatever. Are you expecting a tranny to suck you off?
Hell no.
Are you expecting her to drug you and rob you?
Nope.
So where is people getting this from? Like I've heard people say, oh, well, in some areas, like New York, for example, that's par for the course. It's just like something you should expect. You should expect a stripper to rob you. And I'm like, well, I don't think too many men would go with her knowing they would be robbed.
Not too many men would go to a club if it's known that strippers will rob you. Especially these men that have money. Now, if you're talking about niggas that are broke, which is what she seems to be, dealing with, that's a different story. But most strippers, like if you go down to Florida and stuff like that, Atlanta, not that I'm an expert, but you hear about these football players dropping $10,000 a night. Right. You don't do that with Ray Ray from around the way.
Well, I don't know who she was doing it with, but...
And if you're a stripper and this guy's dropping that kind of money, you're trying to build your clientele like any other business. So why would you be in the business? If strippers are known to be robbers and thieves and stuff, nobody would go.
I agree with you on that. I agree. And so, let's see. Jonelle says, peace, Queen, Donovan and fam. What's happening?
Yes, what's going on?
And Benny says, when you're drugged, your will is taken away from you, and by definition, that is rape. Yes,
thank you.
It just is.
But why is it that when it happens to a man, everybody laughs?
Right. Oh, well, you a sucker. You should, how you should, well, just charge it to the game.
Yeah, I didn't give my consent and you took something from me.
But she gets a pass. And again, there's a lot of us that are defending that. Like, why are we defending that?
Crazy.
And then so Al says, at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Janet thanked her dad for what he did, but didn't mention Mike's defense. Well, I think Janet silently spoke out for her brother because she didn't perform. Because she said it was going to, well, from what they're saying, she said it was going to air on HBO, so she didn't want her performance to air on HBO, the show, the site, or the television station that aired the Leaving Neverland hit piece on her brother, so maybe she did, right? And Tay says, honestly, I can't get with the Me Too movement. Yeah, the Me Too movement they should just like fold up shop and say, let's go, gals, we're done here.
We got Bill Cosby, mission accomplished.
Gloria Allred. Where's Gloria? I mean, normally by now she'd have been sitting on a table with a whole host of victims if Cardi was a man. She'd have had them all wrestled up together, crying and sniffling, talking about I don't want no money. I just want him to apologize.
Where's all these, the congressional black talking women that would come out in support of all this stuff?
I'm waiting too. I mean, where's all the uproar, And then let's see here. Maurice says, wow. And he also says, word. And Tay says, isn't it that was rap is nowadays? So is that, you're saying, well, is that what rap is nowadays? Well, that's what it is nowadays.
Very negative.
It didn't start off that way. Nope. Like a lot of times if I'm hearing a rap song, I'll have to do a double take like, what? What did they say? It's just, so I guess that's what it's become.
A lot of it is yabba dabba doing. I mean, it's just so, the lyrics are just so stupid as long as it rhymed.
Right.
Stone, Rome, cone. It's like, what?
Right. And so Benny says, when we say, well, hey, you're in a strip club dealing with strippers, so if you're not aware of the environment, then you're getting drugged and robbed. It's your fault, quote unquote. This is textbook victim. Victim blaming, but since it's a man, it's really met with no more than a shrug and considered a joke.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Benny, I love what you said on one of my posts, because there's a few guys defending Cardi, saying, oh, that's street life, and what do you expect? But Benny made a good point. He says, that's like saying, well, look what she had on. She deserved it. And well, maybe if she had a little bit more clothes on, she wouldn't have got raped. It's the same thing. Like, going back to the room is an illegal thing anyway, but nobody went back there, I'm assuming, thinking to get drugged and robbed. We both knew we were going to go supposedly get the freaky deaky on, and I didn't sign up for that other stuff.
Yeah, all I know is if you've been to strip clubs and you're a guy that's been to a strip club and you think you're going to walk out with the stripper and your intention is going there and to have relations with the stripper, you're a damn fool.
No sex in the champagne room?
Exactly. None. I mean, you know what I mean? Because if she's doing it with you on the side, who else is she doing it with? You're putting yourself at risk. So you're a damn fool.
Okay. And then hey, Ishmael, he says, these rappers have come up from the slums, slinging drugs to anybody under the sun, sticking up everything on the streets and rapping about it, and nobody thinks twice about it. Yeah, and that's another thing, too. Cardi talks too much. Yeah. Like sometimes when you're getting high on your own supply, you're liable to say some things that you're gonna regret. Exactly. Everybody like that, she could have kept that to herself.
Yeah, and then Cardi talks too much. I mean, she talks too much about everything. There's some things, once you're making your money, you're on everybody's record. You ain't got to address nothing, because in the case that she's gonna go, if it does go to case, me and you took law in college, that case is gonna be dismissed.
Well, I mean, there was a guy who came forward, but then he said he was joking. So,
yeah.
But,
but I mean, based on that video that just came out,
yeah,
it's going to be dismissed. They're going to throw that case right out.
Okay. And then Richard says, did she keep that same tranny energy when her husband cheated? Right. Did she set off set up with a tranny? Probably not. But good question.
Ain't no pussy that good. Damn.
Tammy says, I'm sorry, but a great number of our people are messed up mentally. Our values and ethics are off. And it's like, yes. That that's why we need to address it. Like, how do we get to that point?
We have a lot of mental illness in our community. When they think behavior like that is normal, that's mental illness.
I saw a video trending on my timeline the other day. It was a girl. I don't know, she's probably in her 20s or whatever. She comes out of the house. There's an older man walking down the street with a walker or a cane or something. And she runs out the house and she starts twerking on him. And he's telling her to stop, trying to get away from him. And everybody's thinking that's funny.
Yeah.
Like, that's a sexual assault. But we think that's funny. Now, had that been a dude doing that, all hell would have broke loose.
Taking him to the bank.
Right. And then, so, let's see. Benny says, football players and high-end ballers are the ones that they target. Actually, they are the easiest ones to drug and rob. Right. To your point, because they have all the money. Ray, gave all his money away at the strip club. Yeah,
his warehouse paycheck is gone.
Right, all up in the strip club.
Yeah, within an hour.
And Jonelle says, wow, PE #1, they took our music, not just hip-hop, but R&B as well, from elevation to degradation. Cardi is no different from all the other artists, to even the Queen Bee that supported When You... let's see. When you listen to the lyrics, the rap degradation, Cardi B is just highlighted due to her blatant honesty. We know these are not the saints in these industries. They're doing the most wickedness for success. America's 100% hypocritical, and that's why Cardi can't admit it like R. Kelly. Yeah, I mean, to your point, obviously she has a benefactor, the benefactor being the record companies, and we know who those people are. And so Cardi has gained a reputation of, was she keeping it real? Was she telling it like it is? Shoot, she had to do what she had to do, but it's like, keeping it real goes wrong.
Right. I'm upper middle class, let's say. Really, well, forget that. There's have and have-nots. I'm a have-not, but I'm on the high end of a have-not, right?
Right.
I have a daughter that I've spent money to go to school, giving her a better opportunity, keeping her out of the ghetto, whatever. So now my daughter is a teenager. She's listening to this Cardi B bullshit. Do what you got to do. And the message that Cardi is projecting to these young women is, if you got to fuck a dude, go ahead and fuck him for money. If you got to go suck a dick, go suck a dick, and so on and so forth. How can we as parents say that that's the message that you want, or a role model that you want?
Well, you don't want your daughters, or any sons for that matter, to think that's a role model. But I always say, if Cardi B or anybody else outside of you is more of a role model than you
as a parent,
then you suck as a parent.
Right.
If Cardi B can out role model you as her mama, then you suck as a parent. That's just my opinion. Right. Okay, so Ishmael says she was a freaking thug at getting money like the rest of these niggas in the hip-hop game, but now it's a problem because she's a multi-million-dollar artist. Well, I think the problem is she talks too much. Yeah. It's just like everything doesn't need to be said.
Well,
but we're not to put you off to the other point. That you're a multi-million-dollar artist doesn't change the fact that you committed a crime.
Right.
You don't get a pass, I don't think.
And the thing is, I'm not disagreeing with anybody. We don't know that she's a multi-million-dollar artist because we haven't seen her taxes. And I'm saying that because when you come from the hood like she does, there is no way in hell. I mean, that she's going to keep her money or know how to keep her money.
Well, they said she's worth about $18 million.
Yeah, what she's worth to the record company, absolutely. Wow. Because here's a good example. Like, Nicki, and I like Nicki Minaj. She's whatever. She's a talented rapper. She writes her own lyrics. Ooh, I dropped a thing against Cardi right there. But when Nicki tries to come street, I have to throw some shade at her because she went to the School of Performing Arts.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of them embellish.
Yeah.
All right, and so let's see. Al says, the Cardi situation has pissed you off because your voice is reverberating from the phone to the wall straight to Cardi's trailer. You a fool. I'm not pissed off about it, to be honest with you. Hey, Asada says, hey, y'all, D Loving the Afro, thank you so much. And then Tay says, but that's the thing. We as parents need to teach our children that the entertainers aren't role models. But to your point, a lot of people aren't teaching their kids.
They ain't got time.
A lot of the parents are listening to it too.
Exactly. Right. They're bumping in the car and their baby's in the baby seat.
Right. And Richard says getting money and rape is apples and oranges. It should never be, I'm having to read his emojis. It should never be considered a part of the game because what if one of those alleged victims get mad and want street revenge and kill her? Let's see. her mouth is way too reckless. Yeah, because not too long ago, she got into it with the Bloods or something, and they was looking for her. That's what I heard.
Yeah, because she was, anyway.
Talking stuff, if you will. So, yeah, I mean, at some point in time, you got to pay the piper. You know?
Well, the Illuminati, I mean, it's a real thing.
Well, that's what they say. Mm-hmm. And Al says, Inland Empire's first take starring Demetra as Stephen A. and Donovan as Max Kellerman. But you ever.
That's right.
Ever.
What I like to say is.
Compare me to Stephen A. Smith.
Yes.
Ever. And Benny says, actually, in my opinion, Cardi shed a light on a bigger picture. She isn't the only woman doing this, and women that are doing this should be shown by women that it is not okay. The same as women expect for men to check other men about mistreating women. Absolutely. And that's a great point, because Cardi is just on the national, international screen, if you will. But that happens every day.
Yeah.
To women who aren't rappers.
Yeah.
From women who aren't rappers.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Kamala Harris, she was in a lawsuit that shut down Backpages. A lot of young girls were using Backpages and their pimps, whatever, to...
not using Instagram.
Not using Instagram. But they were using that to not only hustle and do prostitution, but they were also robbing Johns.
Right. And you know what? To that point, too, Benny, even before Cardi B, Instagram, Backpage, Johns were getting robbed from probably when Jesus was around.
Right.
If that's your thing. You know? But, so it's not nothing new. But to your point, yeah, we need to start holding women accountable for doing that. You know, because let's say, you know, somebody, like I said, do something to her. Then people will be mad. Yeah. But, you know, my daughter's 26 now, and, you know, I don't think she's...
Wait a minute. You told me you were 26.
See what happens when you talk too much? I'm telling Cardi B, she talked too much, and I'm talking too much.
How can your daughter be 26 and you're 26?
Divine intervention or something.
Gotcha. All right. That's what I make
sure. But yeah, so I mean... At some point in time, it catches up to you.
Yes, it does.
You know, it catches up to you. And so...
or did you mean 1926? I'm just saying.
Okay, so Jonelle says, right, yabba dabba doing.
Yeah,
when people are not even enlightened to listen to lyrical, but just moved by beats. Anything can be served to the masses. Mm-hmm. What are truly within these artists of substance? Nothing. Let's see. Let's see. This artist, nothing. And that's what they produce in their music. Mm-hmm. The industry is owned by the Zionists, and they promote the artists and filthy music for our people mainly and masses. It creates the demand and supply it. Right, Donovan? The objective is to keep the women and masses in mental health. Cardi done admitted to drugging and robbing and basically pimping to be a success. Mm-hmm. Women are just as the Players Club has example, true. Mm-hmm. So the Players Club, look at what's being served to us from the top. It's the Jews selling filthy us to us and benefiting. No, absolutely. And for those of you guys on the podcast, we are coming back shortly.
Mm-hmm. So, real quick, some trivia. One of the most enlightened rap groups of all time. Give me your favorite.
I would say P is up there.
P is up there. Okay. A lot of people forget about these guys. I've never forgot about them because when they came out, they were on fire. Remember X-Clan?
Yeah. But I've heard some behind the scene things about X-Clan, which is why I did, because I knew you were going there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know if it's true. Yeah. But anyway, yes.
But their
from
content.
What we know, yes, X-Clan was very conscious, right? Okay, so let's see here. And Richard says, morals are optional in this age, and people defend the immoral. It's crazy times we are in. Absolutely. Like, can you imagine? I read an article a long time ago when you had your Paris Hiltons and Britney Spears and all these other people who were acting up. And the author said, in old Hollywood, these women would have been ran out of Hollywood really for such low gutter standards. Mm-hmm. But to your point, Richard, is now the norm. Where you have...
The ratcheter, they're better.
Right. It's like, where are the wholesome people at? Mm-hmm. You know? I mean, like I said, I don't follow Cardi, but she is very disgusting. Not saying her personally, but just her behavior is very disgusting.
You know, but I also attribute a lot of that to her immaturity for being as young as she is. Very immature. I mean, just the way she, the way she comes off.
I can't remember who said it, but they're marketing her And nobody's telling her, you know what, Cardi, you might want to, tone it down a little bit. They're marketing.
No, because you've got women out here, young girls, that think wearing, looking like a Morlock with a blonde wig on, fake contacts, getting their nails done, doing all this stupid stuff to look like somebody that you're not. I say it every time. Nobody hates black women more than black women.
A Morlock?
A Morlock. For those who don't know, that's the time machine. Look at the time machine.
And Ishmael says, you're absolutely right, Demetra. This hip-hop game has gone from culture and storytelling to what the fuck. The kids are hanging on every word these cats are rapping about. And